Have you ever wondered what's up with Shalom Aleichem and all the talk about angels? Do you think it's strange that when parents bless their children on Friday nights, they use masculine language when addressing their daughters? Or do you find the language of Eshet Chayil a bit misogynistic? Give me a few minutes and I'll help you see these issues and more in a whole new light. When sitting down to Shabbat dinner, it's customary to begin the meal by first singing Shalom Aleichem, then reciting Eshet Chayil for any woman sitting around the table, and finally, if applicable, for parents to bless their children with Birkat Kohanim, all before saying Kiddush. Let's take a quick look at each of these texts. While angels aren't spoken of all that often in Jewish circles, we actually have a long, rich tradition of angelology. In fact, in the Talmud, our sages teach that two angels, one good and the other bad, accompany us as we walk home from the synagogue on Friday evening. When we arrive home, if the table is set and the house is tidy, then the good angel says, "May it be as such next Shabbat," and the bad angel is forced to respond, "Amen." However, if the table is not set and the house is not tidy, then the bad angel says, "May it be as such next Shabbat," and the good angel is forced to respond, "Amen." It is believed that Shalom Aleichem was written in the 15th or 16th century by a Kabbalist based on this teaching. So we first welcome the angels into our home and wish them peace, Shalom Aleichem. We then invite them in, Boachem, and ask them to bless us, Barchuni. Finally, we send them on their way so they may bless the next household, Tzeitchem. If nothing else, this song is a wonderful reminder for ourselves that Shabbat is a time to rest and take it easy. If we're rushing to finish getting dinner ready or setting the table, then we might feel too rushed to include this song at the start of our meal. But if we make time on Thursday evening to begin our Shabbat preparations and have everything done before heading off to Shabbat services, then we'll feel nice and relaxed when we return home, having plenty of time to add this beautiful song to our festive gathering. After Shalom Aleichem, it's customary to sing Eshet Chayil to any woman in the household. This alphabetic acrostic actually comes from the very end of the book of Proverbs. In the simplest terms, it lays out all the incredible feats accomplished by an Eshet Chayil, or a woman of valor, over the course of a week. She works tirelessly both day and night to see to the needs of the household, while also earning a living. She is kind and generous to everyone, from her husband and children to the stranger. And she engages in Torah study, never idle gossip, and of course shuns popular notions of beauty. When taken literally, it's understandable why in recent decades a number of people have stopped reciting this text on the grounds of feminism. Is it really realistic to expect this of anyone, especially in light of the progress we've made in dismantling the patriarchy? That being said, it still can be nice to acknowledge one's partner for everything they do to lighten your burden. But if that's the case, why is this only said to women? And why aren't men or those who don't identify as either gender acknowledged? For this reason, some households have sought out other texts to read in order to mirror the intention of Eshet Chayil. However, the 19th century commentator Malbim offers a different perspective, which might make this even more palatable. As Eshet Chayil comes from Proverbs, which is all about praising knowledge and intellect, the Malbim says this woman of valor actually refers to the neshama, or soul, which is considered feminine, and the aspects of it which pertain to wisdom. Based on this understanding, all of us, regardless of our gender identity, contain an internal, spiritual Eshet Chayil that guides us through our week and is deserving of praise. Finally, we come to Birkat Kohanim, or the priestly blessing. In Parshat Naso, God instructs Moses to have Aaron bless all the Israelites with the words, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, and so on. May Adonai bless you and protect you, etc. This language, of course, is in the masculine singular. For this reason, some feel that if you're blessing a girl, you should change it to the feminine. Yivarechech Adonai v'yishmerech. But there are two problems with this. First, we are directly quoting the Torah, and it's frowned upon to change the words of the Torah when using them in liturgy. The second reason, however, is more powerful in my opinion. Although God instructs Moses to have Aaron bless all of the Israelites in the plural, the language God dictates is in the singular. That is to say, it's not directed at any one individual person, but at the entire Israelite community. The word am, meaning people, is masculine. So if you bless the people, it would make sense to use the masculine singular. What's powerful about this message is that even if we are a diverse and at times divided community, we are always unified in our being children of Israel. That being said, the blessing is introduced with gendered language. For sons, parents begin by saying, Yesimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim v'chi Menashe. May God make you like Ephraim and Menashe, Joseph's two sons who were said to never quarrel. For daughters, parents say, Yisimech Elohim keSarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May God make you like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, the matriarchs. So although Birkat Kohanim itself doesn't change gender, there is still language used to reflect the gender of the one being blessed. Of course, this doesn't address individuals who don't fit into this binary, as Hebrew is currently insufficient in this regard. I know, it was a long one this week, but now you know all about Shalom Aleichem, Eshet Chayil, and Birkat Kohanim. Thank you for joining me for this week's Taste of Torah.